QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. At the launch of a 3-day international training program organized by the United Cities and Local Governments World Secretariat in collaboration with international partners, stakeholders renewed calls for strong laws to end gender-based violence in the Gambia. The Directorate of National Pharmaceutical Services of the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the University of the Gambia, held a forum on Tuesday to develop a competence-based curriculum for a pharmacy doctorate program for the university. 2-hour Travel on Tours Pilgrims Executive Committee Foundation organized its inaugural award, Quranic recitation and award ceremony on Saturday to recognize the efforts of outstanding pilgrims. In international news, Liberia's newly elected president has been sworn in as the country's oldest man to lead the West African country. In sports news, Team Sports were crowned champions of the QCell-sponsored Sukuta League tournament following a win against Seaview at the Dembadu football field in Sukuta on Saturday. Now, those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm Jenna Bosonko. At the launch of a 3-day international training program organized by the United Cities and Local Governments World Secretariat in collaboration with international partners, stakeholders including senior government officials renewed calls for institutions to bring in strong laws to end gender-based violence in the Gambia. And Sumane Sonyasi has the rest of that story.
The 3-day convergence brings together at least 20 mayors from across the globe who are in the Gambia under the auspices of Mayor Rohey Malick Lowe, who is also an acclaimed member of the United Cities and Local Governments, which covers over 240,000 cities and local governments globally. The training, purposely organized to bring together policymakers and international development partners to exchange experiences, develop strategies and galvanize support towards combating violence against women within the framework of the international program Caring Territories for Women Victims of Violence 2021-2024. Welcoming delegates to the Gambia, Mayor Lowe expressed gratitude to the UCLG World Secretariat for choosing to hold this important event in the Gambia, and went on to reiterate her commitment to supporting national and international women empowerment endeavors. She also thanked government partners such as the UNDP and QCell for supporting the event.
Especially welcome our dear Secretary General, Her Excellency, Madam Emilia Sachs, and all other colleagues who took time from their busy schedules to attend this training in the Gambia. It means a lot to us, as I know how busy mayors are, and I don't take this for granted. We are most grateful. Please feel at home here in the Gambia, as the Gambia is home to everyone.
Madam Emilia Scheiss, Secretary General of the UCLG World Secretariat, and Jean Charles Allard, Chargé d'Affaires at Francis Mission in the Gambia, acknowledged the Gambia's strides in the fight against women's abuse. They also underscored government's contribution to women empowerment initiatives in the country and gave assurances of their respective institutions' support to Mayor Lowe and Rafaela Gambia chapter's initiatives aimed at promoting the rights of women and girls in the country.
The transformation that we need will not bring the type of development that we want if it does not respond to your dreams, to your expectations, and if it does not transform in service provision that changes your life, that makes your life worth living day after day after day. And that's why we want to make the connection between the sphere of government that is closest to the people, the national government, and the international community.
I hope that these events will be the starting point for a new collaboration, and I can tell you the determination of my government to go on supporting organizations of civil society here in the Gambia and elsewhere in the world, and show its solidarity.
Representing President Barrow, the Minister for Public Service, Babukar Boy, commended the UCLG leadership and international collaborators, describing them as worthy partners whose interventions are changing lives. He also conveyed President Barrow's message of support to Gambian women and gave assurances of government support at all times.
The fact that he was able to make time this morning to meet you with your delegation demonstrates his commitment to your cause. Ladies and gentlemen, I think choosing the Gambia to host this occasion is not a mistake.
Other speakers, including Sidi Eskenjai, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Ndairo Sar, UNFPA Country Representative, and Mandisa Masalogu, UNDP Resident Representative, all highlighted the importance of the event and expressed strong support for women in the Gambia. The event was attended by the First Lady Fatoumata Bah Barrow and political leaders including former Vice President Ousainou Darboe. Antoine Nyasi for KTV News.
Significant convergence there. Now, the Directorate of the National Pharmaceutical Services of the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the University of the Gambia, held a forum on Tuesday to develop a competence-based curriculum for a pharmacy doctorate program at the University of the Gambia. Julden Njai attended the event and she fastened this report.
This stakeholder forum is in the process of rolling out what it calls the competence-based curriculum document to ensure effective and quality healthcare delivery. Fatoumata Samate, Deputy Director, National Pharmaceutical Services, and Professor Loy Matowe, the Executive Director of Pharmaceutical Systems Africa, an international organization with offices in Africa and the USA, highlight the need to have more pharmacists in the country for quality healthcare delivery.
You may be aware that there are less than 40 pharmacists in the country. I repeat, less than 40 pharmacists from Kartong to Koina, as we normally like to put it, serving the pharmaceutical needs of the country, both in the public and the private. So according to the WHO standards, there should be about 4.5 healthcare professionals per 1,000 population. So with our population of 2.4 million, we are required to have about 10,000 pharmacists altogether. So with only 36 registered pharmacists in the country, you can see that we are far, far below the required standards in terms of numbers.
I would like to commend you for taking these steps to remedy what was a gap, both in the education sector and in the public health sector. A person, a mother, a child who is denied of a medicine, it's a human right infringement. A child with malaria must be treated with antimalarials. A child with measles must be treated for measles. So, and who is at the forefront of managing these commodities is the pharmacists.
Professor Gabriel Ogun, Provost of the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences at the University of the Gambia, highlights some of the challenges UTG faces.
If we establish the school, we think of it, where do we locate the school? Today, I have students who fight over classroom space in Banjul. Physical fight. We have not introduced the 2 new programs. They fight. And I see that every time. I want to thank the Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Health, first of all, and the World Bank for supporting this endeavor. I want to thank the Ministry of Higher Education, who support on a long time.
Dr. Momodu Tinyasi is the Deputy Director of Health Services.
With the little human resource in terms of pharmaceutical area we have, they are extremely doing well. And I must comment all of you, especially those in the pharmaceutical services, for the great work you've been doing to support this country. If anybody is doubting your capability, then he or she does not know where we are and where we came from and where we are heading to.
Pharmacy and community pharmacists play an important role in the public health system by providing prescription and over-the-counter medication with professional counseling, participating in healthcare programs, and maintaining contact with other healthcare professionals. For QTV News, I am Julden Njai.
Tiwawan Travel and Tours Pilgrims Executive Committee Foundation organized its inaugural annual Quranic recitation and award ceremony on Saturday to recognize the efforts of outstanding pilgrims. Lamin Dabo attended, and this is his report.
بالله من الشر الشيطان الرجيم.
This historic event, the first by a Gambian Hajj operator, started with recitations from the Holy Quran by scholars and students from various Quranic schools within the Kanifing municipality. The event brought together 2018 to 2023 pilgrims of Tivaouane Travels and Tours, religious leaders, including Imam Ratib of Banjul, community members, and a delegation from Senegal. Alhaji Babukar Cham, the president of Tivaouane Travel and Tours Pilgrims Executive Foundation, explains how the foundation was formed and their plans.
The idea of the foundation came after Seda Adu used to go to hospitals with token amount of money and distribute to those people who have problems to get their medications. We saw that it's a novel idea. You have mosques, you have madrasas, you have people in need, and this foundation has the ambition to serve the general public.
Alhaji Mahfouz Sanyang is the representative of the National Hajj Commission of the Gambia.
It's one of its kind. We are very glad and grateful to Tivaouane Travel Agency for such an occasion.
Madam Mariam Jallo, wife of the Vice President of the Gambia, the chief guest at the event, welcomes the initiative.
It's to give back to the community, and we applaud her very much for that. And then she needs the support of the government, she needs the support of Gambia, she needs the support of everybody.
Alhaji Usman Jah, the Imam of Taqwa Mosque, highlights the significance of this event.
Calling the former pilgrims to gather in one place to recognize each other is very significant.
Aisha Tafsir Gay is a Hajj guide with Tivaouane Travels and Tours.
Some women and some men as well, when they go there, they act like they are guides. They help us make the work easier for us. They run errands for us. They guide people. And we really, really appreciate those efforts.
Alhaji Sering Habib Sise, one of the awardees for his selfless service to fellow pilgrims, has this to say.
When I was there, they kept fetching me. Wherever I hide, they would come and, come for me to help them. But Alhamdulillah, because I believe that whatever you do with a clean heart and for the sake of Allah, you will never regret it.
Aja Mariama Adolet Si, the managing director of Tivaouane Travel and Tours, expressed their commitment to pilgrims' welfare.
I treasure my pilgrims. I treasure my work. I know they are the guests of Allah. I rate them high. I always feel I am their servant. We try to get good hotels. Not close, not far from the haram. We give them good food, buffet service. We teach them, and they do as we tell them, mashallah. So definitely we give them excellent service, and we are branded for excellent service.
The event also featured a charity event where all proceeds were donated to madrasas, mosques, imams, and sick admitted at hospitals. Certificates were presented to pilgrims for their outstanding and selfless services in Mecca and Tivaouane Travels partner institutions, including QTV, for their support. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lamin Alaifan Dabo.
From that story by Lamin Dabo, we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we have local, international, and sports news. To stay with us.
All your electronic cooking utensil needs, worry no more. Deka Killer Jongoma Kitchen is the solution. Deka Killer brings modern, efficient and affordable cooking materials such as gas cookers, heaters, coffee machines, fridges, ceiling and stand fans, among other valuable home and restaurant materials. Located at Serekunda Bambo opposite Sanchapa Garas, Deka Killer is making fun life easier by offering you guaranteed and cost-effective electronic cooking materials. You can contact us on 348-2307 or 728-5372. We are also on Facebook, Deka Killer de Gambia. Email dekakillergambia@gmail.com. Deka Killer Jongoma Kitchen is the solution for all your home appliances and electronic cooking utensil needs. Roast now, Deka Killer making fun life easier. Deka Killer, everything for cooking. Deka Killer is the right place to be.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Now let's take a look at news beyond our borders.
The Republic swore in.
Liberia's newly elected president has been sworn in as the country's oldest man to lead the West African country. However, his age has raised concerns about his ability to run the affairs of the country amidst its socio-economic challenges. As Mamadou Lamin Choi reports, a dramatic scene unfolded during the 79-year-old swearing in, leading to him being rushed away from the podium.
Liberia, Africa's oldest republic, swore in its 26th president at a ceremony held on Monday in the capital, Monrovia. Joseph Boakai narrowly defeated incumbent George Weah in a runoff election in November last year. At an outdoor ceremony in sweltering heat, Joseph Boakai, the 79-year-old, was officially sworn in, becoming Liberia's oldest president ever. Invited guests and Liberians watched President Boakai walk up to the stage to give his first presidential address. After reading his speech for around 30 minutes, he paused, displaying difficulty in continuing, and aides rushed to fan him. He resumed a few minutes later, but couldn't proceed with his speech as he was ushered away from the podium, curtailing the ceremony. The incident left many wondering about the president's well-being. Later on that day, the president's office released a statement saying that he had suffered heat exhaustion and that doctors had since declared him, quote-unquote, perfectly fine. These dramatic scenes reinforced doubts among some of his critics about his fitness and health to govern the country, given his age. When he faced such comments on the campaign trail, President Boakai always responded that he is up for the job and that age should be a blessing to his country. He had told the BBC that he considered himself, quote, a man who is old, who is wise, a man who is sound, and a man who is committed to the cause of the country, end of quote. Liberians expect their new president to create jobs, improve the economy, strengthen institutions, and fight corruption, the latter being one of his key campaign pledges. The president's inaugural speech captured what he described as, quote-unquote, the high expectations of Liberians, saying, quote, we see hard times, we see dysfunction, we see a culture of impunity, and we see corruption in high and low places. It is these and similar conditions that we have come to rescue. But we come with false assurance to no one. Our plan to fix the ills we are inheriting must go together with realistic expectations. We will act in the first 100 days of our administration and then diligently pursue our rescue mission, end of quote. President Boakai has a wealth of experience in state affairs under his belt. The career politician has been active in Liberian national politics since the 1980s, when he served as the country's agriculture minister and later on for 12 years as vice president under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the first elected African female head of state. Boakai lost his first run for the presidency in 2017 to Weah, who took over from Johnson Sirleaf in the West African nation's first democratic transfer of power since its civil wars. Mamadou Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Now let's take a look at what is happening in the world of sports. Team Sports were crowned champions of the QCell-sponsored Sukuta League tournament following a 1-0 against Seaview at the Dembadu football field in Sukuta on Saturday, and Sumane Sonyasi witnessed the final, and this is his report.
Having lost the knockout and Super Cup finals, Team Sports finally won what is their first trophy thanks to an own goal by Lamin Jala of Seaview, following a corner kick in the opening minutes of the first half. A few minutes later, Team Sports almost doubled their lead following a set piece thanks to Seaview goalkeeper who reacted quick enough to clear the ball for a throw-in. Despite trailing a defensively well-organized Team Sports, Seaview dominated possession in the first half and made several attempts in an attempt to turn the tie around. Following the break, both teams showed intent to score with high-pressing football. However, even the songs of praise and electrifying sounds of drums from fans of both sides failed to produce a goal, and so it remained 1-0 in favor of Team Sports. Ahmed Tijan Boyang and Omar Toure, head coach of Seaview and Team Sports respectively, reacted to their team's performances and thanked QCell for supporting football in Sukuta.
Yeah, our first performance it was not good due to if you see our midfield, the first half is already lack of concentration. But if you see that in the second half, we bounced back. Unfortunately, we conceded like own goal, so that make everything. That's the one I decided the game.
Oh, very exciting, man! I'm very excited to be a winner of this, this tournament. This is not our first game. We play with them in the knockout game. Then we won them, so we came with the same tactic them. So we have a victory against them again.
Matar Cham, chairman of Sukuta Sports Committee, conveys the community's message of gratitude to QCell and Ajib Bank for sponsoring the league tournament.
We normally have a lot of teams that participate. We have a qualifier, but only 24 teams play the tournament. So it's a 24-team tournament that we just concluded here. The key partners we have for this year are QCell, being the main sponsors of the program or the tournament, and also Ajib as our partners. Of course, we have local partners as well, but these are the key partners for this year. We're so grateful to them.
Despite losing to Team Sports, Super Cup and Knockout League winners Seaview went home with a few accolades, including $5,000 as the most disciplined team of the tournament. 3 players received a cash prize of $5,000 as leading goal scorers, having scored 5 goals each, courtesy of Ajib Bank. Seaview were also awarded medals and $40,000 by QCell as runners-up. Newly crowned champions Team Sports received $50,000 from QCell, gold medals, a giant trophy, and their fans club received $5,000 as the best fans club during the tournament. Ansmane Soinyasi for KTV News.
Also in sports news, Jakunda FC are champions of the Woolly West Sports Committee football tournament in the Woolly district after successfully defending their title and defeating Tuba Woolly FC in the final. Alaji A.F. Jalo attended the game, and this is his report.
The event was held at Nyakwe Kerewan Football Field in Woolly at the weekend. Football fans and supporters from both communities dressed in Gambian national colours turned up in numbers to cheer up their players. In the 36 minutes of the first half, Jakunda FC opened the scoring with a brilliant strike by Mohamed Barrow. In the second minute of added on time at the end of the first half, Tuba Woolies FC's Omar Suso equalized via a deflection that meant the team went to the halftime break with the scores level. After an entertaining and competitive second half performance by both teams, Jakunda FC's Omar Sanko doubled their lead with a second goal in the 70th minute, which proved to be the winning goal. After the match, we spoke to both captains of the team. Lassana Balisa, the captain for Jakunda, said the only way to bring the youths together is to develop sports, particularly in rural Gambia. Saliu Conte, the captain for Tuba Woolly, applauds their opponent for the victory.
Well,
we thank God for giving us victory. We also want to thank the Woolly West Sports Committee for providing us with this opportunity. Supporting and developing grassroots football is the way out to curb irregular migration and create gainful employment in rural Gambia. We appeal to football stakeholders to decentralize the game to also tap the potentials in Woolly. We want to thank everyone for coming to grace this final. In a competition, we must have a winner. Jakunda happened to defend their championship. We accept it in good faith. Besides, Jakunda are our neighbors. We just want to appeal for more support to continue playing tournaments. Lamin Barrow, the CEO of Jakunda football team calls on the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Football Federation to provide the people of Woolly the right infrastructure, adding that URR has great potentials of producing professional players if provided with the right support and the conducive environment.
I think the Gambia Football Federations should try to make sure that this region gets standard stadiums, because that's one of the major problems we have in today. Like, for example, this team can play third division, but the problem here now, if they want to go for third divisions, they need to travel all their home matches and away matches. And you know very well, gathering 20, 30 people here to go and play summer and come back and go and play your away match in Bakau, Brikama, Serekunda is very expensive. So the only thing can bring Basse regions to their standard in football. I think the Basse Football Committee, you are a football committee, should put the pressure to have a standard field that will be recognized by GFA so that our people can enter to the other leagues rather than the Navetans.
Certificates, awards and trophies were presented to the best player of the tournament, Omar Sonko of Jakunda FC. The leading goal scorer and the best player of the tournament goes to Abdou Barrow of Jakunda FC. The runner-up and the winners went home with trophies and cash prize. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alaji A.F. Jallo.
Congratulations to the winners. Before we go, let's recap our main headlines. At the launch of a 3-day international training program organized by the United Cities and Local Governments World Secretariat in collaboration with international partners, stakeholders, renewed calls for the institutions to bring about strong laws to end gender-based violence in the Gambia. The Directorate of the National Pharmaceutical Services of the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the University of the Gambia, held a forum on Tuesday to develop a competence-based curriculum for a pharmacy doctorate program for the university. Tiwawan Travel and Tours Pilgrims Executive Committee Foundation organized its annual Quranic recitation and award ceremony on Saturday to recognize the efforts of outstanding pilgrims. In international news, Liberia's newly elected president has been sworn in as the country's oldest man to lead the West African country. And in sports news, Team Spurs were crowned champions of the QCell-sponsored Sukuta League tournament following a win against Seaview at the Dembadu football field in Sukuta on Saturday. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.